On a picturesque night from the Upper Cape, a golden sheen shines over Eldridge Park in Orleans as the YD Red Sox take on the Orleans Firebirds in road game number 3 this season. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside tonight. Perri, Red Sox red hot going into yesterday. Things didn't come to a screeching halt necessarily for a YD team that ended up tying Falmouth, but things definitely slowed down.
Absolutely, Luke. Yesterday, YD could have very well won the game without a series of base running mistakes, but coming into this game, YD and Orleans is just a tale of two very different teams. YD leading the league in almost every offensive stat category, and Orleans the opposite. YD is the only team batting over 300, and Orleans is the only team batting in the 100. So today really should be an offensive showcase for YD, but it is the Cape League, and you never know what's going to happen.
So for YD, they will hit with a lineup that's led off by Jacob Jenkins-Cowart in center field. Max Vieira follows him at short, batting third. Anthony Martinez, the designated hitter. Hunter Hines in the cleanup spot at first. Ryan Stafford, who caught yesterday, is in left field today. He bats fifth. Will King batting sixth. He is catching the Eastern Kentucky Colonel. Casey Cook, who was in the leadoff spot last night, bats in the 7 hole. He is at second base. Nathan Archer back into the starting lineup after coming on as a defensive sub late in the game yesterday. He's in right field batting 8th. And we have a YD debut in the 9 hole at third base as Dub Gleed gets his first start as a member of the Red Sox. This YD batting lineup will face off against Jake Peppers, who gets the ball for Orleans, one of the hardest throwers on this staff with a fastball in the upper 90s. Right-hander out of Crossville, Alabama, plays college ball for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. It's teams that have been going in opposite directions. YD winners of 4 their last 5, and the one non-win that tie yesterday. Orleans, after a 2-0-1 start, have lost their last 4.
I have to say, Luke, I'm happy to see Will King back in the lineup. He certainly earned his spot, came in here as a 10th player, and I don't think anyone was expecting him to be in the top 5 in average across the entire league.
All ready to go here from Orleans. First pitch, wind and deal. Catches the outside corner for strike one. 6:28 is our official start time here today from Orleans in beautiful Eldridge Park. Righty on lefty, Peppers winds and deals. Down in the dirt, Jenkins-Cowart takes he takes down low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to the East Carolina Pirate. Twirling the bat, here comes the 1-1 offering. Swing and a miss, and a ball that pops out of the glove of Henry Hunter behind the plate, and it's 1-2.
Jenkins-Cowart was a first-team All-AAC selection despite missing 6 games midseason due to injury. 14 of those were multi-hit games throughout the season.
1 ball and 2 strikes, bringing the glove over the face. Peppers into the windup and pitch. Just off the outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tough take there for Jenkins-Cowart, but he holds, and the count is even. Nodding and now bringing the glove up into the wind quickly. Peppers deals home. This one floated left side foul and out of play.
Jenkins-Cowart not used to being in the leadoff spot throughout the season for East Carolina. He batted primarily in the 5 hole, right in the middle of that lineup.
2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Here comes the belt kick and deal home. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Went to the slider low in the zone. And Jenkins-Cowart couldn't get a piece of it. 1 down in the top of the first.
I think Jenkins-Cowart was expecting the speed from Peppers that you talked about earlier. Instead, Peppers goes with the off-speed. Jenkins-Cowart just out in front of it, went chasing on that pitch.
So now Max Vieira in, choked up slightly on the bat in the righty box. First pitch to him on the way. It's a breaking ball that finds the top of the zone for strike 1. Vieira yesterday hit in the 3 hole, was 1 for 4 with a single, a walk, and a run score that was driven in on the 3-run homer by Hunter Hines. 0-1, check swing in the dirt. The appeal to first and no swing, according to first base umpire Ryan Dinmare. And so the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Merzel, who was at Red Wilson Field calling balls and strikes yesterday for YD, is back behind the plate here in Orleans. 1-1 pitch. This one laced out into left center field, racing back on it. Auvergne has the room and makes the catch, trailing into the gap for out number two, rather, I should say, as that brings up Anthony Martinez.
That was a very hard hit line drive from Vieira. Solid contact, just straight out to center field. The center field at the Orleans home field is 434 feet. It's all the way out there. This field almost looks like a square. Meanwhile, on the ends, 300 and 314 feet.
Anthony Martinez at the dish. First pitch to him. He swings and misses off the outside corner for strike one. Martinez back in the lineup for the second straight night as the YDDH. Hitless yesterday despite 2 walks. Here's the 0-1 offering. That falls into the top part of the zone for strike 2. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Anthony Martinez.
Martinez walked in his first 2 at-bats in his debut yesterday.
0-2 pitch, spiked, and it came up and hit him on the bounce. And so Martinez will get the base. That ball hit the ground probably more than 10 feet in front of home plate. And it skipped up and hit Martinez. And so he's put on base for free again, which was a theme, as I mentioned, in the early part of the game yesterday with those pair of walks. He's now aboard with 2 outs on a hit by pitch. Scoreless here in the top of the first. Hunter Hines, the first baseman and Mississippi State Bulldog, in the cleanup spot with a runner on first, 2 gone. In the top of the first inning, first time we'll see Jake Peppers out of the stretch. Working from the first base side of the rubber, lifts the knee, the first deal. Snapped up high for ball 1. Hunter Hines had a 3-run homer yesterday that came in the first inning. And he was 0 for 3 in the middle part of the game before getting a single to bring in a run in the 10th. 0-1. Drops down low, a check swing, and the appeal out to base umpire Anthony Brunetti. He says Hines offered, and so it'll be a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hunter Hines with the white gloves and the dark elbow pad. Now he's back set in the lefty box. Here's the pitch. Fastball in on the hands for ball 2. Hines has shown his ability to get ahead in counts. That has given him some good pitches to hit throughout the early part of the year. The 2-1 on the way. Lifted foul behind home plate. That gets over the screen. Hines hitting .400 right now through the first 7 games of the season. Back into the left-handed box. Tall stance from the stretch for Peppers. The 2-2. Tipped foul, and that'll play.
Hines is also leading the league in RBI so far. He has 11. The next closest on the Red Sox is Max Vieira with 6. Hines was responsible for all 4 of YD's runs yesterday and has just been so consistent over the last week of play.
One of 2 Red Sox who's hit a pair of home runs this year. Another 2-2. Here comes. Fastball in. He ducks out of the way of it for ball 3. Bases second and third are empty. First occupied by Anthony Martinez. It's a full count with 2 outs. He'll be off with the pitch. Here's the payoff. Wrapped right side and just foul past the leaping effort by Matt Halbach,
who collided with the first base umpire on that heroic-looking dive. That he's taken a little bit of time to get up right now, shaking that off. That ball was cracked, and it had so much spin in the air, it just kept twisting right more and more as it went through the air.
And so Hines will get ready to do it again at 3-2. YD has been no stranger to barreling up balls in foul territory. That's been a theme throughout these past couple of games. Seemed to be what plagued them yesterday, is that other than Hines' homer, they never really got that hard hit ball to be in between the lines. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Hines. And pitch. Skied out to straightaway center field. Shallow coming in from center. Auvergne screams that he's got it, and he does, making the catch 5 steps short of the infield dirt for out number 3. 2-out base runner for YD, but scoreless after a half inning of play here from Eldridge Park. Orleans to the plate when we return. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game between YD and Orleans here from Eldridge Park. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside on a fantastic Monday night here from Cape Cod. Orleans coming to the plate for the first time, and their lineup looks like this. Austin O'Verne, the center fielder, hitting first. Jack Penny right behind him. Remember the Notre Dame Fighting Irish playing at third base. Fenwick Trimble out of James Madison hits third in right field. Eddie Micheletti DH is in the cleanup spot. Hitting fifth, Matt Hallback is at first base. Joe Oyama at second base hitting sixth. Eddie King Jr. in left hitting seventh. Henry Hunter hitting eighth and catching. And Drew Foro rounding out the order at short. On the mound for YD, Nick Judas from Louisiana Monroe. And he deals the first pitch home, and it's outside for ball one, as Austin O'Verne will take it. USC Trojan and left-handed swinger against the tall righty, Nick Judas, 6'8", 220 pounds. 1-0 on the way. High at the shoulders for ball two. Judas, so far this season, has one start. He got the loss in that start despite a 2.25 ERA in it. Through 4 innings, gave up just one hit. 2-0 pitch on the way. High at the letters again for ball three. 3 balls and no strikes as Judas has fallen behind in the count, and this is what plagued him in his last start. 3 strikeouts off just 1 hit, but 4 walks. The 3-0, and that finds plate for strike one. Austin O'Verne, all Pac-12 selection, hit .314 for the USC Trojans. The 3-1, and he takes for ball 4. Never had to swing the bat, and Nick Judas around the zone. And so in his second appearance this season, he puts him in aboard to kick off the game, and that brings in Jack Penny.
Penny batted .241 on the season for Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, in 46 games.
First pitch to him, runner goes, pitches down low. King fires on to second, and it's not close. Runner is in safely.
And that's been the real difference behind the plate for YD. King has been hitting very well at the plate, but behind the plate, his defense is not nearly as close as Ryan Stafford's.
So a runner into scoring position. It's 1 ball and no strikes. And a pretty good sized lead out there on second. The pitch to Penny, way up high, and King springs out of the stance and snaps that one above his head. So a lot of stuff around the zone, not much in it thus far for Nick Judas, who has dealt out 6 balls and 1 strike to begin this game. 2-0 count to Jack Penny in a scoreless game with a runner on second in the bottom of the first. The pitch fouled off himself. Penny got it off the foot. Will take a second to circle around, and it's 2-1. Grassy hill along the right side of Eldridge Park is filled with fans. A lot of people here, especially for a weeknight. People sitting along the outfield as well. Beautiful ballpark. 2 balls and 1 strike to Penny. Long look at second, and now the deal. High above the shoulders for ball 3. And at risk of walking another batter, Nick Judas behind in the count once more, 3-1. Eyeing in the battery behind the plate with Will King. He's got the sign set from the stretch, working from the third base side of the rubber. The 3-1 pitch. Foul back, hits off a support pole, makes a nice clang, and that fills the count at 3-2.
Judas just finished up his junior year at the University of Louisiana Monroe. Had 21 appearances, 3 starts. Coach Pickler's trying to give him his time to shine here, but so far not really proving he's worthy of this starting spot.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Jack Penny. Another payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it by him, looked like he went fastball, and gets his first out of the inning here in the bottom of the first.
It's like he heard me talking and wanted to prove me wrong.
Brings in Fenwick Trimble with one out. And a runner on second. First right-handed batter that Nick Judas will face. He's got very coiled up stance in the batter's box with the front foot offset. Judas, first pitch, fouled off. Just bumped towards the YD dugout. 0-0 our score in the bottom of the first inning here from Eldridge Park. Fenwick Trimble, member of the James Madison Dukes, in the right-handed box with the white batting gloves and the black long sleeves on. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball clips the inside corner for strike two. And now Judas commanding an at-bat for the first time as he's ahead.
Over and dancing over at second, trying to catch the attention of Judas, throw him off guard.
So no balls and 2 strikes. The breath from Judas, look back at second and a pretty short lead. Now the pitch, look out, way up high, leaning out of the way.
And it should be noted that over and over on second, I'm not surprised he beat out that throw, because when he was in high school, he ran a 10:45 in the 100-meter dash, which was good for third in Division I California high school athletics. He is just a straight-up athlete, also played football for a year at USC before switching to baseball.
A knee lift and a throw back to second does not generate anything from Judas. California, that's a good track and field state as well, especially in those sprints. Trimble's working from the front part of the box. Behind in the count, 1-2. Hopping around on second. Now the pitch. This one lifted up. Might escape the infield just barely, but backing up from short. Vieira is there, makes the two-handed catch with his heels on the grass, toes on the dirt. And there's 2 gone in the bottom of the first. Eddie Micheletti Jr., the cleanup hitter and DH, now standing in. That runner still over on second. Utility out of George Washington and Wilmington, Delaware. Another left-handed swinger. 3 of the first 4 batters for Orleans have been in that box. First pitch to him, sinks down low, squeezed between the legs by Will King. That's ball 1.
Micheletti batted .384 this season for George Washington. On-base percentage, .460. I was shocked to see that he did not receive any conference honors.
1 ball and no strikes. Judas looks back and now fires that way, but the slide is in there safely from Auvergne. 1 ball and no strikes to Eddie Micheletti. And now the pitch. Misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Micheletti hitting .200 through 20 at-bats, 4 for 20. Scored a couple of runs. Has 1 homer, 3 RBIs. Hanging the right arm with the ball in the glove. Eyeing in on the plate. Judas now set from the belt. Looks back at second. Now he fires home. Leaning out of the way, low and near the feet. Micheletti takes ball 3. Open base at first, runner on second with 2 away in the bottom of the first inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Judas readying, trying to get him over strike. The 3-0, way high and away, ball 4. Judas.
Micheletti had 28 walks in the regular season. A lot of patience at the plate.
And now we're going to see a coach out of the dugout for YD to go talk to Nick Judas. Hasn't really challenged much in his 2 walks on the pitch that ended up walking each of those 2 hitters. Puts runners on first and second for Orleans, and Matt Halbach at the plate. So the infield meets for YD. Got the red uniforms on with the white pants here today, trying to win another one, which would be 5 out of 6 after an 0-2 start Following the tie against Falmouth yesterday that really felt like a loss in many capacities due to some of the late mistakes that cost them the win. Infield meeting breaks up. And now Matt Hallback in to hit from the right side. Judas with a brief nod. Now the first pitch, lifted up, foul ground behind home. This escapes the reaches of the field out of play.
Out in the outfield, the American flag is raised at half-staff. I imagine that's to commemorate national holiday Juneteenth, which celebrates the liberation of American slavery.
No balls today. No balls, one strike from Judas, and he deals. Swing and a miss for strike two. Celebrated throughout the country annually on June 19th. No balls and two strikes to Hallback, who's batting 1,000 right now. Just one hit, though. The pitch, golfed out of play. And so Hallback stays alive at 0-2. Hallback has been hit by 3 pitches, including his 1-for-1 with his 1 hit. Another 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Judas pumping that fastball over the outside half of the plate. And Orleans strands 2, side retired in the bottom of the first. Both teams remain scoreless as we head to the second. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei back for the top of the second inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Red Sox got a man on base. That was Anthony Martinez, who was hit by a pitch that bounced but did not get any runs. Same could be said for Orleans, who had a couple of base runners but did not score in the first. Ryan Stafford leads off. The first pitch to him, taken right down the chute for strike 1 from Jake Peppers, who struck out 1, got 2 flyouts, and had that aforementioned hit by pitch back in the first. Stafford sees the 0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2 on the breaking ball in the dirt that he goes chasing on, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Stafford struck out in his last 2 at-bats after a 3-for-3 start yesterday. All 3 were singles. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a 3-pitch strikeout, another buried breaking ball that he goes chasing on, and that's the second strikeout for Jake Peppers and the first out of the second inning.
Stafford now has 6 strikeouts on the season in just 11 at-bats, 3 hits, so his average isn't too bad, but certainly attacking pitches not necessarily in the zone.
Will King back in the starting lineup. First pitch to him, swing and a miss for strike 1. Pulled the strings. King was early, no balls and a strike to him. Came on as a pinch hitter yesterday in the 9th inning. 0-1 offering on the way. Breaking ball taken on the low part of the zone for strike 2. Just clipped a piece, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. King yesterday in that pinch hit opportunity flew out to left. First time he has been put out in a pinch hit opportunity this season, as he was previously 2 for 2. 0-2. Fastball away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
King leads the Red Sox in batting average. Right now it's at .474. good for 9 hits at 19 at-bats.
1 ball and 2 strikes from the windup. Peppers fires. Chopper over to third and foul ground. It is played by Penny, and so it's still 1-2 to King.
Good defensive cut from King.
King, native of New City, New York, which he said is about 45 minutes outside of NYC. Chokes way up on the bat. Here's the 1-2. Defended away. And he keeps the count the same, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Some cheers that could be described more as growls coming from the YD dugout after that one.
Dog pound over on the left side. Still 1-2 to King. Pepper's trying to put him away. Here comes the pitch. This ball's barreled pretty well out to deep center field, but over and looks to be under it and makes the catch in the cavernous center field area for out number 2. Mentioned 434 feet out towards center. If you hit a ball there and it's not over the outfielder's head, it's going to be an out. So the base is empty now with 2 gone for Casey Cook, and the first pitch to him on the way. Cook flares it the opposite way out towards left. King giving chase towards the line, and he makes the catch. Side retired. So Casey Cook put down, and the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the top of the 2nd inning. We head to the home half when we come back. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Last of the 2nd here from Eldridge Park. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. No score between the YD Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. Joichiro Oyama leads off for the Firebirds. Plays for UC Irvine, native of Okinawa, Japan. And he stands into the left-handed box against Nick Judas, who worked around 2 base runners to get a scoreless first. Judas lifts the knee, the first pitch. Up high for ball 1. Kind of crunched himself in the box there, Oyama did, almost like a bunt.
Oyama stands at a generous 5'7". Judas, meanwhile, about a foot taller than that, so a big difference here.
1-0 pitch, taken on the inside corner for strike 1.
Oyama, alongside the Red Sox, Dub Gleed, making his debut today, were the only 2 Anteaters that were all Big West selections on that 2nd team this season.
Third base coming in, 1-1 pitch. This one hit pretty well out towards right, going back. Archer at the wall, and it's foul. That ball was barreled by Oyama, but just pulled it down the line too far, and he'll return to the plate in a 2-strike count. 1 and 2 specifically. Almost pulled that right to the foul pole out next to the 314 sign and right. Judas set from just above the belt. Now the 1-2 offering. Ripped foul. And so it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Oyama batted .319 with 7 homers this season in 2023 for UC Irvine.
Wiggling the bat in the lefty box, another 1-2. Reaches for it and golfs it out into right center field. This ball's going to drop for a base hit. Cut off before it reaches the wall. Now it's fumbled on the turf. Oyama, meanwhile, around first and into second safely. And it's a leadoff double for the Firebirds in the second.
Oyama had 14 stolen bases this past season, and I can absolutely see why. I blinked my eyes and he was on second.
Not a good pitch to hit there. It was below the zone and outside, and he just reached for it, threw his hands at it, and poked it out there towards right center. A bloop double for Oyama, and that brings in Eddie King Jr. with a runner on second and nobody out. King Jr., the righty, waits the first pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss and a fastball up high in the zone for strike 1. King plays for the Louisville Cardinals collegiately, native of Linwood, Illinois. Crowding the plate a bit from the right side with the Louisville shin guard on and the elbow pad. Big lead out there on second from Oyama. The next pitch on the way. And that finds the corner on the inside. 0-2.
King followed in the footsteps of his cousin Corey, who was an All-American at Louisville and is currently with the Milwaukee Brewers organization.
No balls and 2 strikes. Judas set with his front foot offset towards third. Looks back at a hopping Oyama. Now lifts his knee and pump fakes back there. So no balls and 2 strikes to Eddie King. He hit .252 for the Cardinals this season. Started 40 games for a team that was in the top 10 for part of the year. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball just underneath the zone. King tried his best to frame it behind the plate, but couldn't. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. King with the tan barrel, black handle on his bat, awaiting the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swinging a grounder up the middle, coming over from short. Vieira fields, throws on to first in time for the out. Oyama moves from second to third. And so with 1 gone in the bottom of the second inning, the go-ahead run, and what could be the first run of the game, just 90 feet away for Orleans.
Vieira took a little crow hop before that throw and absolutely gunned it across the diamond.
That brings in Henry Hunter, the catcher, out of UAB. Another lefty for Kelly Nicholson. YD brings the infield into the edge of the grass. First pitch to the lefty on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 1. YD bringing the infield in early. This grass is pretty thick. That is why Vieira had to throw that last ball so hard over towards first. No balls and 1 strike. And pitch. High and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. No score here from the bottom of the second inning between YD and Orleans. First meeting between these 2 division rivals this season. Orleans looking for their first divisional win of the year. 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. And it's 1-2. Just got a piece of that breaking ball. He was out in front of it. Judas got 2 punchies back in the first. Ahead in the count here, 1-2. Hanging the right arm. Now he sets with the brown glove right at the belt. The 1-2 deal. Fouled off the leg. Hunter will wear that grimace as he looks back towards his own dugout. And now we'll take a lap and recollect for another 1-2 pitch.
Hunter had a fantastic freshman campaign in 2022. He was a perfect game freshman All-American, but his sophomore season in 2023 batted just .175 across 46 games.
Another 1-2. Fouled back into the screen. And so the count remains the same. This is his 4th game he's appeared in this season for Orleans. He's 3 for 9 with a walk and 4 strikeouts.
He was an all-star last summer in the Appalachian League, so maybe summer ball is his thing.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Judas got him with the breaking ball down and away. And Hunter goes chasing. 3rd strikeout for Judas. And now 2 gone in the bottom of the 2nd. Brings in Drew Farreau, the Florida journeyman who's from Tallahassee. And comes up with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. First pitch from Judas, bunt is squared and it's fouled off for strike 1. Farreau broke the single season freshman home run record with 15 for UCF this past year. That came after transferring in from Florida. Now he's transferring again to go play for the Florida State Seminoles, who his father played for. 0-1 pitch. This one lined out into right field, coming in for YD. Archer watches it bounce in front of him. It's a base hit. Run scores, and it's a 2-out RBI single for Drew Farreau.
So Orleans punches first. First, it was that hit from Joe Oyama where he just reached for it, and that one well hit into the gap. Just feels like Orleans is feeling it right now, and also the things are going their way. They're finding the gaps, they're finding the spots on the field, making good contact off Judas.
Back to the top of the order with a runner on first and 2 out. Austin O'Verne walked his first time up. Snap throw over to first, and Farreau back with a slide. That now makes Farreau 2 for 12 on the season. It's been a pretty tough start, but collects his first RBI to make it a 1-0 game led by Orleans here in the 2nd. First pitch on the way, and it misses high to O'Verne for ball 1. O'Verne, an invitee to the U.S. National Collegiate Camp. Likely be heading that way within the next few days. Getting his licks at the top of the lineup right now, though, for Orleans. Long hold, the 1-0 pitch. Popped up in the air, middle of the infield, coming over from short. Vieira camped underneath it between 2nd and 3rd, makes the catch with 2 hands, and the side is retired. Orleans takes the lead on the 2-out RBI single by Drew Farreau, and it's 1-0 Firebirds. We head to the 3rd. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. One nothing Firebirds here in the top of the 3rd inning from Eldridge Park in Orleans. 8-9-1 coming up for YD in the order. Nathan Archer back into the starting lineup. Came in as a late defensive sub yesterday for Scott Pickler, but back in to start a game for the first time in a little while. And the first pitch to him on the way. It bounces in for ball 1. Last time he was in the starting lineup, he was in the leadoff spot in a 5-3 win against Chatham back 4 days ago. This one ripped over to the right side, waiting on it from 2nd. Oyama throws over to 1st, and it's in the nick of time for out number 1. Pepper's working quickly and has gone through the YD order all the way to the 9 spot without giving up a hit. His only blemish has been that he's hit 1 batter. Dub Gleed making his debut, and he stands in for YD. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball framed on the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. full name is William, goes by Dub. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss on change piece for strike 2.
A native of Ladera Ranch, California, Dub Gleed was an all Big West second team selection as mentioned earlier.
The wind in the 0-2 pitch. Takes in the dirt for ball 1. Plays for UC Irvine, one of many West Coasters that Scott Pickler has brought across the country here to Cape Cod. 1-2 pitch, lined right side. That drops into right field for a base hit. Dub Gleed goes the opposite way over the head of Matt Hallback, who was leaping in the air trying to get to it. And the Red Sox have their first hit, turning the lineup over to Jacob Jenkins-Cowart.
And all of a sudden, we have a new average leader on the Red Sox. Dub Gleed batting 1,000.
Jenkins-Cowart is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Does have one hit as a member of the Red Sox that came in the 9th inning yesterday after starting 0 for 3. Bit of a lazy pickoff move over to first as Gleed is back easily. Ephus over to first to check on the runner. Now set from the stretch first base side of the rubber, the knee lift and pitch. Just off the outside corner for ball 1. Jenkins-Cowart, of course, a highly touted player out of ECU. Readies for the 1-0 pitch here. It comes, no. Pickoff throw over to first again. And Gleed back with another head first slide. Jenkins-Cowart, first team All-AAC selection, as Perri referred to earlier. This one grounded over towards second. They get the lead runner for 1, and no turn can be made as that ball was hit towards the deepest part of the right side of the infield in the 3-4 hole. Oyama makes the turn, and Jenkins-Cowart reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 gone for YD in the top of the 3rd. Peppers has been working at a very sporadic pace, sometimes just taking significantly less time in between pitches than he normally would. The batter now, Max Vieira, with a runner on first, 2 down. Another pickoff move over to first, this time a little bit closer, but still not that much of a contest against Jenkins-Cowart. 1-0 Orleans. Firebirds out hitting the Red Sox 2-1 in the early part of this one from Eldridge Park. Upright stance on the mound from Peppers, and another pickoff move to first that's somewhat close, but another slide from Jenkins-Cowart brings him back safely.
Those were 2 of the closest pickoff attempts I've seen so far this season, but Jenkins-Cowart so quick with his reflexes, just sliding his hand back in there barely in time.
He's got about a 2-step lead on first. Now the pitch to Vieira. This one lined to the left side. That's going to drop for a base hit. Jenkins-Cowart rounding second into third. The throw is not in time. Jenkins-Cowart slid around the bag. Vieira now going back to first after a big secondary throw in there. Will not get him either. So everybody's safe. That throw looked like it might have beat Jenkins-Cowart, but maybe the tag did not get onto him. Might have ducked around it in some way, and then Max Vieira almost got hung out to dry in between first and second. When the throw came into third, he tried to take the extra bag and was about 40 feet up the line before he decided to turn around and retreat and was nearly thrown out at first. Instead, it's now runners on the corners for Anthony Martinez.
Vieira saw that fastball missing just high in the zone, absolutely cranked it on a line to that left center gap.
Martinez was hit his first time up. First pitch to him, bounces before reaching the plate. Quickly scampered to by Hunter. No movement on first from Vieira. 1 ball and no strikes.
Martinez was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, but the pitch bounced on the turf before it hit him, just spiked by Peppers. I don't think I've ever seen a hit by pitch advance to first with a ball.
1-0 pitch is down in the dirt again, a check swing, and the appeal to the base umpire, Bernetti, says that there was no offering from Martinez, and so it's 2-0. Over on first, Vieira very much is a threat to steal. He leads the Red Sox with 6 swiped bags and has only been caught once. They're on the corners with 2 outs. The 2-0. Martinez blasts this one down the line. It's going to drop foul. And it goes over to the hill where it's pursued by some kids sitting over there. That ball would have been gone had it been fair, but right off the bat could tell that was going to end up right of the pole. 2 balls and a strike to Anthony Martinez, who has shown spurts of power throughout the early part of his tenure with the Red Sox, but like we mentioned earlier on in this game, yet to put it in between the chalk. A lot of foul balls that he's hit really hard. The 2-1 offering taken above the hat bill for ball 3. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. A walk would load the bases for Hunter Hines, who's on deck for YD. The 3-1, here it comes. This one lifted out towards left field in foul ground. Coming over on it, this ball is going to drop as King couldn't get to it.
That ball traveled just out of play, but a dangerous pop-up from Martinez off the bat.
Full count with 2 outs. Vieira will get a head start with the pitch. Peppers looking to get out of the inning. The 3-2 to Martinez. Breaking ball outside for ball 4. First walk he's issued. Martinez has been a free bag machine now through his first couple of games with YD. 3 walks and a hit by pitch, and it loads the bases for Hunter Hines, one of the top power hitters in the entire nation. Hines has hit 2 home runs and mentioned hitting in the 400 range coming into this game. Righty on lefty.
As well.
First pitch to him down low for ball 1. Jenkins Cowart on third, Vieira on second, Martinez on first. Hines leaning back in the lefty box. So look at first and then third. Now pitching from the windup, Peppers fires. This ball is hit a mile high out towards right field. Trimble coming in, looks to be under it in the gap, makes the catch, and that retires the side. YD leaves them loaded in the top of the third. A 2-out rally falls short, and the Red Sox still scoreless as we head to the home half. It's 1-0 Firebirds. You're listening to YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
All right. Let's do this.
Jack Penny leads off for Orleans in the bottom of the third inning. His team out to a 1-0 lead on this Monday night from Eldridge Park. Luke West-Foley, Perri, Kitei joins me alongside. Thanks so much for spending your night with us. Jack Penny is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Nick Judas is back on the mound for YD. Worked around base runners in the first. Had a couple of base runners in the second. Gave up a run. First pitch. Backdoors in for strike 1 to Jack Penny. One of 3 strikeout victims of Judas, the ULM Warhawks so far. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch, check swing. Pitch misses below the zone to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Judas had just 3 strikeouts in his last appearance and 1 earned run as well, already at those statistics tonight.
Now the 1-1 offering on the way. Check swing, pitch misses low. Will King wants an appeal to third, but not much of an offer, and no swing determined by the third base umpire. Jack Penny ahead, 2 balls and a strike. Exclusively out of the stretch, Nick Judas lifts the knee. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went to that fastball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That fastball that can get up into the mid-90s sits in the low 90s for Nick Judas, the right-hander. Nobody out to the leadoff man, Jack Penny, the 2-2 pitch incoming. Lined up the middle on the 1-hop, sliding stop by Vieira, and he throws on to first, scooped out of the dirt by Hines for the out. Middle infield was pinched for YD. Vieira had the ground covered, although that ball bounced nearly right above second base. It's an out, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the third.
And that was done with style from Vieira, as you said. A sliding grab, stood up, had time for even a crow hop before he made the throw over to first.
Fenwick Trimble in to hit now, the righty. First pitch to him on the way. Zipped low and away for ball 1.
Trimble popped out to short in his first at-bat.
All Sunbelt selection from James Madison with the all-black bat. Sees the 1-0 come in. Swing and a miss ahead of the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Native of Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's a part of the CAA All-Rookie team when he was a freshman back in 2022. His brother plays for George Mason. 1-1 pitch. Misses inside for ball 2. Wide catcher Connor Dykstra also plays for Patriots, team that made it to regionals, had a good showing at regionals this season. 2 balls and a strike to Fenwick Trimble. Pitch on the way. Foul tipped into the glove of King behind the plate, 2-2. Base is empty, 1 out. 1-0 Firebirds in the bottom of the third. Judas looks up at home. Here's the pitch. This one hit well out towards center on a line. Jenkins Cowart, though, has it and makes the catch in front of the chest for the second out. That center field is just a graveyard. Any ball that's hit out there is going to be caught for the most part. That ball was hit very hard by Trimble. Can call it an L8 if you want instead of an F8, but regardless, it's still out number 2 in the inning, and that brings up Eddie Micheletti Jr., who is recording his second plate appearance, walked his first time up. First pitch to him, outside for ball 1.
That hit sounded so good off the bat. The placement just unfortunate. I think that would have been an out at most fields just due to where Jenkins Cowart was on the field.
The 1-0 pitch on the way. And it finds the inside corner for strike 1. Some words of encouragement coming out of the YD dugout. Eddie Micheletti, mentioned from Wilmington, Delaware, top overall recruit in the first state out of high school. 1-1 to the lefty. Breaking ball pushed foul the opposite way towards the left side into the screen. And it's 1-2 with Micheletti behind in the count, trying to work his way back. Judas looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Judas bouncing that front foot. Now the 1-2 offering. Reached for and poked foul behind home plate.
Micheletti has some power in that bat. Hit for 18 doubles this season, 2 triples, and 6 home runs.
Working from the back part of the lefty box in a 1-2 count. Wearing the short sleeves. The 1-2 pitch. Touches on home. Micheletti lays off, and that evens the count, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Micheletti. With the bases empty and 2 out in a 1-0 game led by Orleans in the bottom of the third. And pitch. Crushed foul on the right side. That ball's going to go up towards the building beyond the parking lot. Might have hit it on the fly. It's still a 2-2 count. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Micheletti. A look at the ground by Judas. Now he pitches. This one lifted out towards left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Micheletti goes the opposite way and just pokes one into the outfield. And there's a 2-out base runner for Orleans in the third, and that brings up Matt Hallback.
There were quite a few well-hit foul balls in that at-bat. Micheletti finally finds one in fair territory. Stafford held off on that, wasn't going to go for the diving catch.
Third hit of the game for Orleans. Matt Hallback struck out swinging his last time up. Pickoff move over to first. Very, very small lead from Micheletti and no chance. Over at second, Casey Cook for YD playing pretty close to the bag. Hunter Hines at first is covering first base. Left side of the infield playing pretty straight up for the Red Sox. Vieira may be backed up just a hair. Pitch on the way. Gets to the backstop over the head of King. And Micheletti bolts for second and will arrive there standing up.
Hallback plays for UC San Diego, another California State School product. He was part of UC San Diego's first ever Big West Conference title and earned first team All Big West honors during that.
So 1 ball and no strikes, and now a runner in scoring position for Matt Hallback. On the way. Popped up behind home plate. This is just going to get out of play and land on the highway behind us, where that ball is going to stick on the road. So that ball is still sitting on the road, and it's now a 1-1 count to Matt Hallback.
There was a distinct PA announcement not to chase foul balls on that road.
1-1. Above the zone for ball 2. Judas has that open base at first, but not wanting to extend this inning any further. Meanwhile, Matt Hallback in a pretty good spot at 2-1. Two shuffle lead off of second base by Micheletti. Now the pitch. High for ball 3. Blips out of the glove of King, who runs to his left and scoops it up, holding the runner on second, but it's now a 3-1 count to Matt Hallback. Probably going to get a good pitch here on 3-1. Definitely going to have the green light on. The 3-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Just swung over the top of a ball with some sinking action on it, and a guy who hit 5 home runs and 15 doubles during his college season. Can't connect to it. And the count is full with 2 outs. Slightly smaller lead on second now for Micheletti. Payoff pitch. In there, strike 3. And that gets Hallback looking to end the inning. So Eddie Micheletti Jr. gets the 2-out single to extend the side, but Orleans can't tack on another. It's still 1-0 Firebirds as we head to the 4th. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the fourth at Eldridge Park, Orleans leads the YD Red Sox 1-0. Stepping to the plate is Ryan Stafford, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Peppers back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. First pitch flies in there for a strike on the off-speed. A nearly identical pitch in there for strike two. The field mostly covered in shadow at this point as the sun has began to set. Another ball spiked in the dirt, maybe even in the grass before the dirt from Peppers.
Seen that a couple times from him. He's been really rock solid for Orleans thus far, but maybe that one pitch has had a tendency sometimes to just get grip locked a bit.
Counts 1-2. Stafford swings through, and that's strike three. His second strikeout swinging of the day. Peppers has his number. Brings up Will King, another catcher by training, playing catcher today, unlike Stafford, who's in left field. Flew out in his first at-bat. Goes after this one on the first pitch. It's popped up deep into left field, but high in the air, and King makes the catch with ease. That's 2 outs quickly for the Red Sox.
Yeah, King just going first pitch swinging, and don't really mind it. It was decent enough pitch to hit, just got underneath it a little bit, was choked up just trying to get a ball in play, and did just that, but just touched it out there towards left field, and it was a simple enough play.
Casey Cook takes ball one upstairs, batting in the 7th spot today as opposed to leadoff where he's been the last couple of games. Cook reached base twice yesterday but did not record a hit. And despite the frame attempt from Hunter behind the plate, the count moves to 2-0. Nobody on base, 2 outs at the top of the fourth. Orleans leads 1-0. And Peppers finds the top of the zone for strike one. The 2-1 pitch, fouled back sharply into the net, and the count evens up. Cook has had a few lengthy at-bats where he's fouled off numerous pitches, at-bats lasting 7, 8, 9 pitches even. This one upstairs again, ball three. The count runs full on Casey Cook, a position he is used to by now. And he swings ahead of the pitch, goes down for another strikeout from Peppers, and that ends the inning. The top of the side at least. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Orleans leads 1-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Joe Oyama coming back to the plate for his second time around, blooped a single in his first at-bat, went reaching for a pitch in a defensive swing that just happened to work out. He actually made his way to second due to his unbelievable speed, stepping into that lefty batter's box now. Batting in the 6th spot for the order, it's the bottom of the 4th. Orleans leads the Red Sox 1-0. And Oyama watches strike one go by. Nick Judas back again, made it through 4 innings in his debut, beginning his 4th inning tonight. Ball 1 misses low, counts even. The lights have turned on. The field is in the shadows as we've passed 7:30 p.m. Counts 1-1, pitch on the way. Oyama shows bunt, pulls back, ball 2. That ball actually flew over his head. He didn't even have to pull back. The infield backed up to the edge of the outfield grass with Gleed pulled in on 3rd. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Count moves to 2-2 on Oyama. Gleed now backs up, not worried about another bunt attempt with 2 strikes on. The 2-2. In there for a called strike 3. That's 2 batters rung up in a row for Judas, who's finding his groove here in the 4th. 1 out for the Red Sox. Brings up Eddie King Jr.
Judas, back-to-back looking strikeouts now, seeming to find the zone. He's had that freeze pitch.
King watches ball 1 go by almost on the ground. Grounded out in his first at-bat. It was a 6-3 ground out. The 1-0. Floats in for strike 1. Cook shifted over at second, almost by the bag. Big hole in the 3-4 gap. And Judas pitches strike 2. 1-2 count, 2 outs, or 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And ball 2 misses low, count evens up on King. Orleans leads 1-0. They tacked on a run in the 2nd, none in the 3rd. King swings through, strike 3. 3rd strikeout in a row for Nick Judas on the mound.
Just an off-speed string pull right there. He's had that fastball velocity, but when he throws that off-speed in the low part of the zone, he can catch some guys reaching, which is what King did right there. It was way out in front.
Ball 1 in the dirt from Judas facing Henry Hunter, the catcher. He has doubled his strikeout count from his first appearance. He's already at 6. Hunter offers, pulls back, but it's in there for a strike anyways. Counts even 1-1. Regular infield on the edge of that outfield grass. And Hunter watches another strike go by. Count moves to 1-2. A strike could end the inning. Despite the frame attempt from King, ball 2 just misses below the zone. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung through and missed for strikeout number 3 in the inning. Nick Judas is on fire for the Red Sox. It's 1-0 Orleans as we head to the top of the 5th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Back for the top of the 5th, Orleans leads the Red Sox 1-0. Nathan Archer stepping up to the plate. Archer has batted up and down the lineup for the Red Sox, has 2 home runs. He hit them on consecutive days last week. And he faces Jake Peppers back for the 5th inning. Archer shows bunt, rolls just foul. He sprints it out anyways. Archer has a few infield singles, a lot of speed there. And in the past, we've seen Coach Pickler go to that surprise bunt attempt. Usually doesn't do that once the infield might be ready for it, twice in one at-bat. So I expect to see Archer swinging from here on out.
It's not a bad idea when you've only got 2 hits in a game through the first 4 innings as well. YD just trying to manufacture some base runners here through the middle innings.
Ball 1 misses just inside. The count's 1-1. Dub Gleed in the 9th spot on deck, 1 for 1 today. Archer takes ball 2 low, and he's ahead in the count. Archer takes a big hack at this one, way foul onto the highway, just missed a car driving by.
If you hit a car, it's one thing. If you hit a moving car, that's double points.
Counts 2-2 to Archer. Takes just inside for ball 3. The count runs full, a dangerous take from Archer, but most of those have worked out for the Red Sox. We've seen a few dangerous takes, and for the most part, they do end up being balls. Payoff pitch on the way. Misses high, ball 4, and Archer takes a base.
It's a good at-bat, and it's just a showcase of how you have to adjust in the middle of an at-bat. You're starting off with a bunt, trying to get your way on that way, and then you go swinging, and then eventually you start to work up the ball count and realize you can walk, and he takes ball 4.
Dub Gleed roped a single on a line to right field in his first at-bat. First at-bat as a member of the Red Sox. Up for a second time around with Archer on first. We might see a stolen base attempt as well. Archer dives back on the pickoff attempt from Peppers.
Was leaning a little bit towards second when that throw came in.
Lead shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. This is a more routine bunt attempt with no outs, trying to advance the runner, put him in scoring position. The 1-0. Popped in the air towards right field. Drops just foul, and a diving Fenwick Trimble can't make the play, so Dubglede lives to see another day. And the count's 1-1.
Wow, that's a really good hustle play from Trimble. Came over into foul territory, dove near the fans, was oh so close to making that diving catch on the base paths too. Nathan Archer was getting ready to tag up. If that diving play was made away from the field, Archer was getting ready to take second.
Another pickoff towards first. No outs for the Red Sox in the top of the 5th. Orleans leads 1-0. Nathan Archer on first base. Dubglede at the plate facing Jake Peppers. Counts 1-1. Fouled back into the fence, strike 2. Just like his single in his first at-bat, that ball that roped foul towards the right field pole had a lot of movement in the air. Glede putting a lot of spin on these balls with contact. One-two pitch on the way. Glede lays off on the off-speed, 2-2.
Whitey's gone chasing a lot on that pitch in the lower part of the zone and even a little bit below the zone today. Good hold there from Glede.
Solid lead from Archer at first. Another pickoff closer, but not in time. A diving Archer makes it back to the bag. Counts 2-2 on Dubglede in the 9th spot. The lineup will turn over in this inning. Peppers deals. High, ball 3. Another full count, second in a row. We've seen a lot of those already tonight, Luke.
Yeah, we have. It's been a lot of long at-bats, over 70 pitches now through 4 innings, yet to record an out in the 5th here from Peppers.
The payoff, swung through and missed on a ball that was in the dirt. Glede goes down swinging, brings up Jacob Jenkins-Cowart in the leadoff spot.
It was a hit-and-run steal type of play with Archer being able to take second, and Glede just went chasing on a ball that bounced, pitch in the dirt. Kind of just serves as a bunt, though, not too bad for this YD team in just a 1-0 game. And now we see Kelly Nicholson out of the dugout for Orleans, and the players starting to file their way out of the dugout as well. It looks like he might take the ball here. And we're going to see a call to the bullpen with a lefty trotting out for Orleans.
We will head to a quick break, give our new pitcher some time to warm up. We'll introduce him when we get back to continue the top of the 5th. Still in the top of the 5th, Jacob Jenkins-Cowart will have a new count facing Jonathan Gonzalez, the lefty out of Stetson University. Went 8-4 this season with a 4.13 ERA in 72 innings pitched, both as a starter and a reliever.
2 2/3 innings for him in just one appearance thus far in the Cape. 1 run that was earned off 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for him. Expect a lot of fastball and changeup, little bit of slider mixed in there as well.
Howard reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. An almost sidearm delivery on the first pitch from Gonzalez, misses outside for ball 1. Archer, big lead on second. Top of the 5th, Orleans leads 1-0, 1 out for the Red Sox. Jacob Jenkins-Cowart at the plate, counts 1-0. Infield backed up to the grass. Rips this one up the first baseline, but a diving grab is made by Hallback. But on the flip, he lost the ball, and then Archer tried to take home, but he was thrown out, and Hunter puts on the tag. So Jenkins-Cowart reaches again on an error this time. And then Archer, another base running error, as we saw yesterday. Too much confidence coming around third, thought he had the space, and he thought the infielders were distracted enough that he could slide in there. Instead, he was out by about 10 feet at home.
Yeah, I thought the infielders were preoccupied with all the chaos going on at first, but just didn't round third cleanly. He stopped when he was at third, and it was a stop and go.
One ball and 1 strike to Martinez. Watches ball 2 go by. It's actually Vieira. Martinez is on deck. Vieira 1 for 2 on the day, had a single in his last at-bat. And takes strike 2, just hits that inside corner. He'll be forced to swing. Jacob Jenkins-Cowart on first. Archer was tagged out at the plate, so Jenkins-Cowart is the Red Sox only base runner. The score remains 1-0. Bit of a lazy pickoff attempt from Gonzalez over to first. 2 outs now. Still in the top of the 5th. The Red Sox left the bases loaded in the last inning, hoping to tie things up with Orleans here, but the hits have not been coming. Vieira cracks this one foul towards the Orleans dugout. Solid contact, but almost perpendicular to the field. 6th pitch of the at-bat on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Vieira. Gonzalez deals low and inside, ball 3, another full count. Solid lead from Jenkins-Cowart on first. He goes, but Vieira chops it up towards second. And the runner is called safe on second. Jenkins-Cowart was going for the hit and run. That ball was chopped up to Farrow, who thought he stepped on the bag in time, maybe missed the bag, and Jenkins-Cowart slid in there in time.
Yeah, it's the only thing I could really think of, that he ran across second base and that maybe he missed the bag. Maybe it really looked like that was in time. But regardless, YD catches his break, and now Anthony Martinez.
Martinez has reached twice, as he did yesterday in his first 2 at-bats on free bags. This time a hit by pitch and a walk. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Orleans leads 1-0. Martinez cracks this one foul onto the highway. Just misses a pickup truck trying to make a left turn. 0-2 for Martinez. He faces Gonzalez on the mound. Gonzalez checks his runners, deals, and Martinez holds off on ball 1. The ball did hit the dirt. Martinez put up a hand to stop the base runners from advancing. That ball was solidly in front of Hunter. Pitch on the way. Martinez fouls it off himself, goes into fair territory, but a foul ball keeps the count at 1-2.
He's been put on base now twice for free. I'm sure very, very eager to swing the bat after YD got a bit of a gift to extend the inning. Really trying to take advantage in a game where it feels that runs are going to be very, very hard to come by as these teams start to reach into their bullpens.
The 1-2 pitch. Martinez, fair, up towards first base. Called off by the umpire. A late call after the diving grab was made by Halbach. His second of the inning. He's playing incredible defense over at first.
And it's another tough break for the Firebirds because that would have been an out. I think it was foul, though. I do think that was the right call, that it went to the right of the line, but just barely. These are real hairs that we're splitting here in this 5th inning.
Another 1-2 pitch on the way. This one misses the zone low, counts even 2-2.
I think about half the time on that pitch you're getting rung up for strike 3 at least.
YD has gotten the benefit of a few close calls today. Gonzalez checks his runner at second. Martinez ropes this into right field, and that drops for a base hit. YD runners coming around to score. Jenkins Cowers scores easily, and Vieira's rounding his way into home. I think Trimble lost the ball out there in the grass. He was shifted over to the left, and that ball was over towards the right field line, had to run for it. A double for Anthony Martinez, finally gets a hit on base for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, he had the ground covered out there, and right Trimble did. It was a single there from Martinez at least, but in trying to maybe get the runner at home, he tried to field too quickly and didn't have his glove flush with the ground. The ball sneaked right underneath it, went all the way to the wall.
Strike 1 to Hunter Hines, who has popped up twice today. It seems if he's not hitting for extra bases, he's just been under these balls, absolutely skying a few of them for easy routine outs. The count moves quickly to 0-2. Martinez on second, and the Red Sox lead 2-1. Hines at the plate. Martinez on second. Hines lays off on ball 1 in the dirt. Stafford on deck if it gets there as YD reaches the heart of their lineup. Big lead from Martinez, not much coverage from the infield over at second. Hines, a swing and a miss. He goes down, but the Red Sox have taken the lead. We head to the bottom of the 5th. YD leads 2-1 at Eldridge Park. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. new pitcher on the mound. It's Leighton Finley, the 6'5" hurler out of Georgia. Just his second appearance for YD this summer. He faces Drew Farreau, batting in the 9th spot. Orleans will go 9-1-2. And ball one almost in the dirt, almost clips his foot. Just misses. Judas ends the day with 7 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 1 earned run. Second pitch on the way. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1.
It was a bit of a shaky start for Judas, but settled in really nicely. Ended his outing striking out the side. Actually struck out the last 4 batters that he faced.
Farreau goes after this, just fouls it back. Counts 1-2. He's 1 for 1 on the day, singled in his first at bat. Orleans hoping to turn over the lineup with a runner on base. The 1-2 pitch, fouled off into his own dugout. Bottom of the 5th, YD leads 2-1. Drew Farreau at the plate for the Firebirds. Another 1-2 pitch, just high for ball 2. Finley deals, just off that outside corner. Ball 3, count runs full. Farreau has stayed patient after a first pitch strike from Finley. Finley shakes one off. Infield backed up to the grass. Payoff pitch, swung through and missed. Leighton Finley starts his day with a strikeout.
This has been a theme, I think, for YD this season, that when they've had a lot of strikeouts from their starter, it's carried through nicely to the bullpen, and having that swing and miss stuff. And Leighton Finley starting off with a K after 7 of those were put up by Nick Judas.
Facing Austin Over, who had a walk and a fly out, stolen base to go along with that. Going back to last inning, 4 batters have now struck out in a row for the Firebirds. Over swings at this, fouls it back. Counts 1-1. The momentum seems to really be heading YD's way right now. The 1-1 pitch misses low on the changeup, ball 2. Over and shows bunt, pulls back, strike 2. Counts 2-2 on the leadoff. Austin Over and a 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. YD leads Orleans 2-1. Finley on the mound, nobody on base. This one swung on and missed. 5th strikeout in the row for YD. Second from Finley, who's coming in relief.
Wow, this YD pitching staff is really mowing through right now. And Jack Penny looking to break an 0 for 2 day. He's one of the strikeout victims.
Penny offers at the first pitch, pops it up, out of play. Patience holds off on ball 1. Counts 1-1, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th, nobody on. YD has struck out 5 Orleans batters in a row. That one misses the zone for ball 2. Counts 2-1 to Jack Penny out of Notre Dame. Wears number 11, 0 for 2 on the day. Swings at this one, chopped up the middle, off of Finley's glove, and Vieira can't get a hold of it. That probably would have been an out if it made it through the infield over to Casey Cook, who was ready for it. Vieira tried to pick it up off after that ricochet from Finley's glove, just missed it on the bare hand. And Orleans has a runner on base.
Yeah, now the bad luck swinging the other way for YZ after it was seemingly all in their favor. But a base hit to Penny. Orleans hoping things will kind of balance out here as this 5th inning goes along after a tough top half.
First pitch coming for Fenwick Trimble, and that one's grounded up towards short. Vieira has it, tossed to first in time, and that ends the inning. No runs scored. YD still leads 2-1. We head to the top of the 6th on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Ryan Stafford up to bat for YD. He still faces Gonzalez, who's back for his 2nd time around. Stafford is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts swinging. Offers at the first pitch, grounds it foul up the 3rd baseline.
Lost the elbow pad. Guy that really saw the ball well right from the beginning with those base hits that he had early in his tenure.
Strike 2 finds its way down the middle. And Stafford is behind 0-2. Top of the 6th, YD leads 2-1 at Eldridge Park. And ball 1 just inside. Stafford holds off, counts 1-2. Stafford swung a late foul tip, caught by Hunter behind the plate, and that's out number 1. Ball 1 to Will King. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts today. Ball 2 just missed upstairs. 3rd pitch on the way from Gonzalez. King hammers this towards center field, over and running over for it, and makes the grab just in front of the fence, all the way out there. That has to be about 400 feet that Will King just hit that ball. At any other park, probably would have been a home run in this league. Instead, out number 2.
That ball was loud and it was mashed out there towards center. That's about as deep as I think you're going to see a ball get hit out here to center field.
It was a good play from over, and using that sprinter speed, had to run quite a ways to make that play. That ball was so hard hit. 1 ball, 1 strike to Casey Cook, the Tar Heel, 0 for 2 on the day with a flyout and a strikeout swinging. Strike 2 finds that bottom outside corner, counts 1-2. YD leads 2-1 in the top of the 6th. Cook swings ahead of the pitch that ends the inning. It's a quick one for Orleans, and we head to the bottom of the 6th at Eldridge Park. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley. Bottom of the 6th, YD leads Orleans 2-1 at Eldridge Park. Eddie Micheletti, 1 for 1 today, also has a walk facing Leighton Finley, who struck out 2 in the last inning. Ball 1 misses just below the zone. Strong day so far for Micheletti, has reached in both plate appearances. And so far has watched 2 balls go by, counts 2-0, no outs. Bottom of the 6th. Lights on, we're approaching nighttime as the sun is almost set. This one on the ground towards short, Vieira has it. Long throw across the diamond, the stretch is made, and the out from Hunter Hines. A fantastic play all around. Vieira in the deepest part of the infield on that, not a problem. And Hunter Hines over at first, who played the entire season at Mississippi State as a designated hitter, shows that he is worth his stuff at first base.
Yeah, needed that stretch as the slide into first from Micheletti came late, but how about that throw from Vieira at short?
First pitch fouled back from Matt Halbach. 2 strikeouts for him today, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Bottom 6th, 1 out at Eldridge Park. YD leads Orleans 2-1. And Finley floats one into the top of the zone, counts 0-2. Halbach forced to swing now. 0-2 pitch on the way. That one sent into right field, but Nathan Archer is there, barely had to move. And that's 2 quick outs for the Red Sox. Very hard hit ball off the bat from Halbach, just couldn't find the gaps.
Yeah, really since that second inning, that's how things have kind of gone for Orleans. Anytime they've had a hard hit ball, it's found a glove, it's found a defender out there in the field for YD, and things have really come to a stop for the most part offensively for these Firebirds.
Joe Oyama shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. He was rung up in his last at-bat, singled in the first one. Leans back, ball 2. Again, Finley stands at 6'5". Oyama at 5'7". Big difference here. Finley is going to have to put it lower than he's used to find that strike zone. Oyama ducks once again, and he's out to a 3-0 count. 2 outs for Orleans. Bases are empty. YD leads 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th at Eldridge Park. 4th pitch on the way, pulls bunt. Shows bunt, pulls it back, strike 1. Oyama, out of UC Irvine, has quite a few teammates on the Red Sox. Swings through this one, full count from Finley.
Had that ball that he shot out there towards right field that dropped foul that would have been a homer. That ball would have been 2 times gone had he connected with it. Huge swing from him.
Payoff pitch from Finley. Oyama finds fair territory up the third base line. Sprinting after it is Stafford. And Oyama is held up at first. I thought that might go for 2, but Stafford gets it in quickly. So a double and a single on the day for Oyama. He's the first base runner of the inning for the Firebirds. Brings up Eddie King Jr.
I think he might have tripped on first base there as he was rounding it. He said had a chance to maybe stretch that, but the safe play for Orleans now bringing up a hitless Eddie King.
King with a ground out and a strikeout, swinging. Swings at the first pitch, misses, strike 1. King very far up in the batter's box. Toes on the back line. Lead from Oyama at first. Pickoff attempt from Finley. Oyama back safely. Counts 0-1 to King. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. YD leads 2-1 at Eldridge Park. Another pickoff towards first, closer, but Oyama still safe. There is a pitch clock, but it resets on a pickoff attempt. So Finley a fresh 20 seconds to deal this one. Still 0-1 to King. Pitch on the way. Runner goes. And King lost the ball. He got ahead of himself. He saw the runner going. That ball was upstairs. King was already standing up. Had plenty of time to make the throw, but instead, I think tried to do a little glove toss to his hand and dropped it.
It almost served as a de facto pitch out there where he was already up in his stance, but like you said, maybe just a step ahead.
King has yet to throw out any base stealers. 1-1 to King. Low ball 2. Vieira over by second, covering Oyama. Big gap in the 5-6 hole right now. The 1-1. Fastball misses just outside, ball 2. 3 balls and a strike to King. Runner on second, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Counts 3-1, pitch on the way. King forced to swing, misses again, strike 2, another full count. Batters on both teams making these at-bats count. Three-two on the way. Swung through and missed. Another strikeout for Finley. Strands Oyama on second. We head to the top of the 7th. YD continues to lead 2-1 at Eldridge Park. It's Perri Kitei and Luke West Poley. You're listening to YD Baseball.
Top of the 7th inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. 2-1 our score with YD in front of the Firebirds following a 2-run 5th inning from the Red Sox. Nathan Archer, the Bowling Green Falcon, leads off. Second plate appearance for him. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Back out to the mound, the wind and the pitch from Gonzalez. Swing and a miss on a piece that was sweeping away from Archer. He can't connect that, strike 1. Last time aboard, Archer made it all the way to third, came around trying to score and was thrown out at home. 0-1 pitch. Chopper slowly hit over to first, charging in. Hallback, stumbling, applies the tag on Archer up the line, and he got him. Matt Hallback with the 3 unassisted. There was no one covering the base because that was his spot, and he just lunged over the bag and applied the tag on Archer. 1 gone in the top of the 7th.
That was a very impressive defensive play from Hallback. Great field awareness as well, and Archer really was speeding down that line.
First pitch to Dub Gleed, and he beats this into the ground over to short, fielded by Farrow, and the high throw to first is picked easily out of the air by first baseman Matt Hallback for out number 2. Quickly 2 batters and 2 down for YD. That brings up the top of the order, and Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, who's 0 for 3, reaching on 2 fielders' choices in this game. Bases clear with 2 outs. YD in front 2-1. Gonzalez fires home. Strike knee high on the outside corner to Jenkins-Cowart. Gonzalez, who came in the 5th inning, now trying to work through this YD order. 0-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. Commanding really well, trying to work an efficient 7th here, as another lefty is up and warming in the Orleans pen. From the windup, the knee kick, the deal. Grounder up the middle. This one's going to skip into center field for a base hit. Might have glanced off the glove of a diving Drew Farreau, and is the first hit of the game for Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, second as a member of the YD Red Sox, and extends the top of the 7th inning as Max Vieira will now stand in. He's 1 for 3.
Perfectly placed up the middle, just over the head of Gonzalez, and neither Oyama nor Farreau could get there in time. This is Jenkins-Cowart's 3rd time on base, just his first hit. He's previously reached on an error and a fielder's choice.
First pitch to Vieira. Misses low and away for ball 1. Vieira with that counterbalanced tan bat with the extra thick handle. Has the full sleeve on his left arm. That's his front arm as he stands from the back of the righty box. Working from the stretch, the lefty deals. Slides off the corner and misses for ball 2. Anthony Martinez on deck for YD, who's reached base all 3 times he's been up on a hit-by-pitch, walk, and a single. Seton Hall Pirate Max Vieira at the plate. Look over at first, now the pitch. Misses down and in for ball 3. And Vieira, who has a look over at Scott Pickler at third, in command of this at bat at 3-0. YD trying to put together a rally with 2 outs. Jenkins-Cowart with about a 2-step lead on first. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way, that finds the zone for strike 1 in the inner half.
Vieira batting .419 on the season in the Cape so far. 13 for 31 with 2 doubles.
The 3-1. Breaking ball, chopped over to short, long way to chart for Farreau. He bobbles it, spins, throws to first, not in time. Jenkins-Cowart makes it up to second. Vieira makes it up to first safely on something that we will have to check the scorer's decision on. A ball that was bobbled. He was hurried in needing to make that play, and that was what caused the stumble and the blip. And so that puts runners on first and second with 2 outs for a dangerous part of the order. Martinez followed by Hines for YD.
That
lefty on lefty.
Scored as a hit. Vieira's 3rd of the game.
First pitch misses down low for ball 1. And so Max Vieira extends the hitting streak. Did that earlier in this game and now has a couple here in this one. Next pitch on the way. This ball is hammered out to deep center field. Over and backing up in left center underneath it. Makes the catch short of the track. And the side is retired. So YD gives the fans a little bit of hope but doesn't push anything across. It's still 2-1 Red Sox as we reach stretch time here from Eldridge Park. To the bottom of the 7th we go. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. 2-1 YD, last of the 7th here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Leighton Finley returns to the mound for his 3rd inning of work for YD. Henry Hunter, the UAB Blazer, on the back of 2 strikeouts will stand in. Missed opportunities have really hampered this offensive effort for Orleans, who've left a runner on base in every inning except the 4th. First pitch from Finley. Breaking ball over the plate for strike 1. That 4th, of course, was the inning that Nick Judas struck out the side. That was his final inning of work. Since then, it has been carried along well by Leighton Finley, who's also struck out a few of his own. 0-1. Bounces in the dirt, an off-speed pitch that evens the count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
I have to say, Luke, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get any renditions of Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch. What's up with that?
1-1 pitch comes in. Check swing, and he went around for strike 2. Some teams in this league don't do that for some reason. Not sure why, but I don't know. Maybe this league probably predates. It does predate probably Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but still. 1-2 pitch. High at the shoulders for ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Firebird catcher. Righty on lefty, working from the wind. Bringing the glove down, the pitch on the way. Lined up the middle, one hopped over to short. Vieira has it clean, sidearms to first, low throw. It's picked out of the dirt by Hines for the out. And there's one gone in the bottom of the 7th.
What a grab from Hunter Hines. Backhanded that off the short hop perfectly. Held his glove up to show the umpire that he indeed had it. Second good play from Hunter Hines, digging that one out at first base.
That brings in Drew Farreau with the bases empty. He's 1 for 2. The first pitch to him. Swing and a miss on a ball that bounced before reaching home. A sharp curving pitch that time from Leighton Finley. That makes it 0-1 to him. Farreau 1 for 2 with a base hit in the 2nd, a strikeout in the 5th. 0-1 pitch on the way. Takes down and in next to the feet for ball 1. Brought in his first run of the season, first RBI. That's the only run of the game for Harwich. 2-1 YD. 1-1 pitch. Breaks below the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Farreau, the shortstop, digging back in. It was his 2nd hit of the year. With the glove over the face, now into the wind. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Wrapped foul behind home plate. And it makes it a 2-2 count.
Farreau was unanimously selected to the AAC Conference freshman team this season.
Played this past spring for the UCF Knights, will be a Florida State Seminole next year. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball called strike 3. It's another looking K. Leighton Finley picks up another. That's his 4th strikeout, 11th by YD pitching, the 3rd of the looking variety by Red Sox hurlers this evening, and that flips the lineup over with the bases clear and 2 outs in the 7th.
O'Verna 0 for 2 with a walk.
That came back in the 1st inning, made it up to second base. He sees the first pitch. Breaking ball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Popped out to short and struck out swinging. Now the 4th time through the order, starting at the top for Orleans here in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch. Slow chopper over to first. Hines comes around it, flips to a covering Finley, who steps on the bag. Inning over. YD goes 1, 2, 3 through the bottom and top part of the Orleans order. And as we head to the 8th, it's 2-1 Red Sox here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. 2-1 YD in the top of the 8th inning here from Eldridge Park, and Hunter Hines leads off against a new pitcher on the mound. The lefty Connor Eaton gets the ball for Orleans with his team in a 1-run hold. George Mason Patriot steps up onto the mound, hard-throwing left-hander, to face off against Hines lefty on lefty to begin this inning. Working from the windup, a high leg kick. First pitch comes way up on Hines. He checks, swings, but holds up for ball 1.
Eaton was 1-3 across 14 starts for George Mason this season.
Next pitch on the way, and that misses for ball 2. 1 1/3 appearance, or 1 1/3 innings pitch, I should say, across 1 appearance for him this season on the Cape. The wind in the 2-0. Taken high above the head for ball 3.
3 nearly identical balls in a row from Eaton. All of them about head level with Hines, and all of them he's had to back up a little bit, lean backwards to get away from it.
Here's the 3-0, and it's ball 4. Nearly got away behind the plate from Hunter. It was that high, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start the outing. Hunter walks halfway out to the mound before calling time to get a new baseball. He, along with Eaton, had a brief chat. Hunter Hines is on base for the first time after an 0-for-3 start. And so that will bring in Ryan Stafford, who's 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts, and a new pitcher might be just what he needed. Looks like we might get a pinch runner, and that is indeed the case here for Hunter Hines. It's going to be Nick Mitchell that's going to come out of the dugout for the Red Sox, the speedster, who will pinch run for the slugger. And so that means now that Ryan Stafford has a faster guy on base. He could potentially drive in with some extra bases. Working from the stretch, the first pitch on the way. Stafford takes on the inside corner for strike 1. First strike that Connor Eaton has thrown in this outing. With the glove pinned on the front hip, now set just above the belt with the front foot offset towards first. Eaton deals. Breaking ball in the same spot for strike 2 on the inside corner. Mitchell on first, pinch running for Hunter Hines. Also should mention in the last inning, didn't get time to, that Brady Day came out as a defensive substitution at second. 0-2. This one popped high in the air out towards pretty deep right center field. O'Verne coming over. He's called off in right as Trimble makes the catch, albeit a bit stumbling. And running back to first, Mitchell was about 95% of the way to second when that ball was caught. He returns to first base, and there's one gone in the 8th.
That ball was headed towards a gap, but was absolutely skied, gave the outfielders too much time to get underneath it.
Will King standing in now for YD, looking to break an 0-for-3 performance at the plate so far with 3 flyouts. That very powerful, coiled up stance in the righty box awaits the first pitch. That will be delayed by a pickoff move over to first base as Eaton checks on the runner. First pitch to King, runner goes. King takes a strike, throw down to second, bounces and skips into center field. Mitchell is safe, now he's running over to third, and he's going to arrive there standing up. So he takes 2 bags on a ball that just squirted in between both middle infielders in Farrow and Oyama for Orleans. Both guys got a hand on it, but neither could smother that baseball. And the insurance run YD is hoping for, leading 2-1, is just 90 feet away now at third. 0-1 the count as the Orleans infield creeps into the edge of the grass. The pitch to King. Takes up high for ball 1. And this is just the guy you'd want at the plate if you're YD. Not only a guy who's been clutch hitting, you can see that he's 0-for-3 today, but he's put the ball in play into the outfield all 3 times he's been up, which is exactly what you're looking for here. The 2-1 to King. Fouled off, and it's 2-2.
Was just slightly ahead of that one on the off speed. King has also come up huge in clutch moments late in games for the Red Sox.
Brady Day on deck for YD. For now, all eyes on Will King, choked up on the bat in the righty box. The 1-2. Fastball high. Scooted above the zone there and above the head of Will King to even the count at 2-2.
For Mitchell on third, that was his first stolen base of the season in the Cape Cod League.
The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball high, and that makes it 3 balls, 2 strikes. First and second base open here for Connor Eaton, the new pitcher, George Mason Patriot for Orleans. Still pitching out of the stretch. The 3-2. Fouled up in the air, right side and out of play onto the hill.
King very much choked up on this bat right now, going for the base hit, considering it's hard to get it out of the park, especially center where King tends to hit. Right now, he's going for the gaps in the outfield.
Orleans outfield playing relatively normal, not exceptionally shallow. Another 3-2. This one lined out towards left. Oncoming, King watches that drop in front of him for a base hit. Mitchell comes in to score, and how about Will King? It's another clutch hit for the YD catcher, and that makes it 3-1 Red Sox in the 8th.
Every time you think he can't possibly do it again, Will King steps up to the plate and does it again. A pinch runner for him coming over. It's Jacob Christian now on first base out of Point Loma Nazarene University.
And so continuing to empty the bench, Scott Pickler maybe hoping for something similar to what we just saw unfold with Nick Mitchell, who took second and third on one pitch and then was scored. Brady Day at the plate for YD. And the knee lift, runner goes, but it was a stumble and a balk. Eaton had the runner hung out to dry, lifting his knee, wanted to pick off, but he just stuttered his step. And an obvious balk there, and that moves Jacob Christian up into scoring position at second.
And that's not the first time we've seen that kind of delayed steal attempt from Coach Pickler. However, this was the first time we've seen that with only one runner aboard. Usually it's with runners on the corners, but Jacob Christian gets him to go.
And so now a runner in scoring position for Brady Day. Big lead out there on second. Runner takes off, pitches in there for a strike throw to third, gets out of the glove of Penny. And so now another run just 90 feet away for YD as Christian swipes third base.
Coach Pickler isn't holding anything back in this inning, putting in his pinch runners, going for all the money. Has been successful so far.
0-1 today. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike with the count even. Day hitting just 200 this season, but does have 3 RBIs. The 1-1 burns the outside corner for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brady Day. Again, the infield in now for Orleans.
Still just 1 out. A hit to the outfield could score a runner.
Eaton deals the 1-2. Pushed over left side, diving stop made at short by Farrow. Throw to first, and it's in time for the out. Run comes in to score. No chance to get the man at home. Really nice play by Drew Farrow, but Brady Day does his job. It's a ground out, but it's an RBI, and that makes it 4-1 YD. Now with the bases empty and 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Unbelievable diving stop from Farrow at short, but Christian scores. Day does his job with the sac hit.
First pitch on the way to Archer, and that's on the low outside corner for strike 1. Archer leaning back, another left-handed swinger, back from the windup. The pitch, this one hit on the ground. 2-hopper over to second, charging in. Oyama underhand flips to first, and it's in time to beat out the speedy Archer for out number 3. YD gets some much-needed insurance. It's 4-1 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Orleans down to their final 6 outs as Leighton Finley walks back out to the mound. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 8th inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Leighton Finley back out onto the mound, and Jack Penny will start things off for the Firebirds. Penny is 1 for 3, 2, 3, 4 in the order coming up for Orleans. Left-handed swinger against the righty Leighton Finley that is back out now for his 4th inning of work. Finley working from the wind, pulls both hands away from his body, now draws in. Long hold for him, now he's into the windup. First pitch on the way. Taken outside for ball 1. Full day of action in the Cape Cod League. A couple of games have gone final, a few more finishing up here through these late starts. 1-0 from Finley. Grounder over to second. Brady Day has it, up with it, throws over to first. And Jacob Christian is there for out number 1. Harwich has beaten Katuitt tonight 9-4 as the Kettleers, who are the best team coming into the night in the Cape League, fall to 6-2. 9-4 is the final in that one. Wareham and Brewster also finished up from Stony Brook Field. That was a 4-4 tie. 1 out now in our game in the bottom of the 8th, and Fenwick Trimble in. First pitch to him. Slides into the outside corner for strike 1. Trimble is 0 for 3. In the top of the 9th, Falmouth and Hyannis tied up at 2. Next pitch on the way, and that ducks down low to even the count at 1-1 strike. YD's next 2 opponents facing off from Veterans Field in Chatham. Their opponent tomorrow, the Chatham Anglers, trailing Bourne. Their opponent in 2 days, 8-1. 1-1 pitch, breaks low for ball 2. Top of the 5th inning in that one. That's the Cape League scoreboard. Our game 4-1 YD here in the bottom of the 8th. Finley from the wind, a 2-1. Lifted up in the air, foul ground, right side behind home plate. Couple players giving chase for YD, but that is way out of play. And that evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Trimble 0 for 3 today with 2 flyouts and a ground out.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Finley kicks and deals. This one is blasted really high in the air out towards left center. Jenkins Coward coming around it and out in left. The catch will be made for out number 1. Don't know who's playing out there for YD as they've made some shufflings due to some pinch hits that was previously occupied out there and left by Ryan Stafford, but he's now behind the plate. Regardless, 2 out. And Eddie Micheletti Jr. up to the plate with the bases empty. First pitch from Finley. Breaker on the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Knee-high curveball there for the first strike. 0-1. It's in there for strike 2. Another breaking ball working quickly. Nick Mitchell, we have confirmation, is out there in left field for YD. Jacob Christian, who also came in as a sub, is over on first. 0-2. Lined out into right field, not much movement. Now charging in, Archer is there, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Quick 1-2-3 for the Firebirds, and as we head to the ninth, it's 4-1 Red Sox over Orleans here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Ninth inning from Eldridge, 4-1 YD over Orleans. Doug Gleed leading off for the Red Sox. 9-1-2 coming up in the order. Connor Eaton back out onto the mound. Bit of a rocky start to his outing as he gave up a couple of insurance runs in the eighth for YD. Lefty on righty, the first pitch. Fastball low for ball one as Gleed lays off. He's 1 for 3 in his Red Sox debut. You see guy from the West Coast. 1-0 pitch flies inside on him to make it 2 balls and no strikes to Gleed. You see Irvine, Anteater, as we've talked about throughout the night. Ahead in the count 2-0. The pitch down and in for ball 3. Looking to reach base for the first time since the 3rd inning. And he's ahead of 3 balls and no strikes. Top of the order on deck for YD. The pitch taken on the low part of the zone for strike 1. It was Jenkins Cowart that was warming up just a second ago for YD, but it has since switched. 3-1 on the way. This one ripped foul on the left side. Hard exit velo up the third base line. It's going to be Enzo Apodaca for the Red Sox. That'll pinch hit in the spot of Jenkins Cowart, who will finish the day 1 for 4. 3 balls and 2 strikes now as the count is full to Gleed. The payoff, taken low for ball 4. Or rather, no, it was a called strike 3, late strike 3 call there from home plate umpire Jeff Merzel, but it did catch the bottom part of the zone, and so there's 1 gone as it flips to the top of the order.
YD did tack on 2 in the 8th. They lead 4-1 now. Orleans will have one last chance in the bottom of the 9th.
So Enzo Apodaca now standing in for YD. 294 hitter this season out of Gonzaga. Left on left, first pitch. Over the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike with the bases empty and 1 out. 0-1 pitch. Misses below the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Valiant frame attempt from Hunter, but that one very obviously missed low.
1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Apodaca goes chasing in the other batter's box, and it's 1-2. 3-run lead for YD that was built up. Started in the 5th. Insurance came in the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 in the outside corner. It's back-to-back looking Ks for Connor Eaton, and there's 2 gone in the 9th. Max Vieira strides up to the plate with 2 gone. Have another pinch hitter for Anthony Martinez on deck. If it gets there for YD, as Connor Dykstra's in that spot. First pitch to Vieira, sliding out of the way, nearly hit him on the shins for ball 1. There's a chance that it doesn't get there, but Dykstra is in the on-deck circle. 1 ball, no strikes to Vieira, who is 2 for 4 today. 1-0 pitch. Lined right side, base hit through the gap in the infield. It gets into right. And Dykstra will get a chance at the plate as Max Vieira extends this 9th inning, the top of the 9th, with a 2-out single.
Vieira now 4 for 5 on the day. That last one was actually scored as a hit, not an error on the Firebirds. So Vieira, an incredible day at the plate. Batting .800 for the day.
Connor Dykstra now striding up to the plate. George Mason against George Mason. First pitch to him. Finds the top part of the zone for strike 1, so bragging rights here on the line late in this game. Pair of Patriots pitcher and hitter. Runner on first with 2 gone. 0-1. Breaks down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 to Dykstra, very short lead, no need to be anything huge over on first from Vieira. There will be a pickoff move right as I say that though anyway from the pitcher and Connor Eaton. 4-1 YD leads, out hitting Orleans 7-5. Lopsided number though comes in the error category, none for YD, 2 for the Firebirds. 1-1, tipped foul. Crashes into the brick part of the backstop here from Eldridge Park, and it's 1-2. Crowd is thinned out considerably. Some people still braving what has turned into a pretty chilly night over on the right side in the hill covered in grass. Really unique ballpark construction here on the furthest east ballpark in the Cape. 1-2, delayed by a pick.
Temperatures hovering around 59 degrees right now.
1 ball and 2 strikes, the count. It was very hot around first pitch, but not anymore. Pitch, look out, leaning out of the way. That's up near the head area, and it's 2-2. Orleans will have one last chance to tie this in the bottom of the 9th. For now, Connor Dykstra looking to give his team some more insurance. The 2-2. Fastball up high above his head, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. For Orleans, they'll have the middle of the order coming up, 5, 6, 7, Hallback, Oyama, and King Jr. Runner will be off with the pitch. Full count, 2 outs, and a runner on first in a 4-1 game led by YD in the top of the 9th. Vieira on first, Dykstra at the plate. Eaton on the mound, takes a look over at him, now fires. Low ball 4. Check swing to first. The appeal says no swing from Dykstra. And that puts runners on first and second in the 9th. And so YD may be threatening for a little more here, potentially, as Nick Mitchell gets his first shot at the plate after pinch running for Hunter Hines and scoring a run back in the last inning. So Connor Dykstra wins the George Mason battle, and now YD threatening. First pitch. Finds the outside corner for strike 1 against Nick Mitchell. This is, as aforementioned, his first at-bat of the game. Batting .300 this season, 3 for 10. 0-1. Spike down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. YD will be back at home tomorrow. 4:45 start against the Chatham Anglers. Eaton's 1-1 on the way. Fastball misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. YD took the opener of the season between those two teams a few days ago. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mitchell. Pitch lifted out to left field, should be playable for King, who backs up and now floats in on it and makes the catch for out number 3. Cy retired in the top of the 9th. YD strands 2, but they still got a 3-run lead that they will look to protect to win this game when we come back. Bottom of the 9th on the way from Eldridge Park, and you're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Here in the last of the ninth from Eldridge Park in Orleans, Mass. 4-1, YD leading over the Orleans Firebirds. And back out onto the mound, Leighton Finley deals the first pitch. Misses down low for ball one. To Matt Hallback, Enzo Apodaca taking over in center field for YD. Place of Jacob Jenkins Coward, who he pinch hit for in the top. 1-0 pitch. This one hit out towards center field. Apodaca racing in and makes a sliding catch on the run. Apodaca with some extra style points ran into that ball and slid just for a little extra on the tail end of it. And there are 2 outs remaining for Orleans.
That ball didn't have a lot of air under it, but as he has done more than 3 times already this season, Apodaca with the sliding grab, got a really good break on that, started sprinting forward immediately once he heard the crack off the bat.
First pitch, a bunt is squared and pulled back as the pitch misses outside for ball one to Joe Oyama, the native of Japan. 1 out, and the base is empty. He's 2 for 3. The wind, kick, and deal. Again, bunt is squared, and again the pitch misses low as the bunt is pulled back. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Righty on lefty coming up here to Oyama, who's been the most successful Firebird at the plate. Has 2 of their 5 hits. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a floater left side out of play. Over the highway and into the woods beyond it. 2 balls and a strike to Oyama. YD with a 3-run lead. Finley spinning the ball in his glove. Now brings the foot back and the pitch. Swung on and missed, tied him up as he brought the ball up and in on the hitter, and Oyama went chasing after it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Oyama. Finley back to work. The pitch. Slow roller up the first base line, and it rolls just foul. Finley's only chance at it was to stand over it and pray that the side spin took it right of the chalk, and that's exactly what it did. A swinging bunt from Oyama that only got about 60 feet up the line, and so the count is still 2-2.
Help from the YD dugout on that when they saw the spin on the ball, were shouting, "Let it go, let it go." Finley heard them and heeded their advice.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Joichiro Oyama. In his first name, perhaps the most successful Japanese baseball player ever. The 2-2 up high for ball 3. Some would say that's Shohei Ohtani, but I'm not there yet.
We have an Ichiro Suzuki fan on our
hands. I'm still on the
hands.
Ichiro train. I think Ohtani will be there eventually, but not yet. The 3-2. Lifted, foul ground, and out of play. Not to discount what Shohei Ohtani has done at all, but Ichiro, very iconic and very, very long MLB career that obviously spanned throughout many teams. Meanwhile, 3-2 to Oyama. The pitch. Fouled back. Oyama's working a pretty good at bat here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. His team needs 3 runs, just trying to manufacture base runners. He's got the count full, and he's fouled off a couple.
You know, I think Shohei Ohtani is just content with waiting on the $500 million contract he's going to get soon.
Future Met. 3-2 pitch. Outside ball 4. Oyama showing excellent discipline there. He's on base for the 3rd time in 4 trips. And Eddie King now moving up to the plate, and Scott Pickler out of the dugout for Leighton Finley, who has been out there a while out of the pen since the 5th inning.
Considering Finley only went 1 inning in his first appearance, he's gone 4 1/3 here tonight and has done a very good job in doing so, has pitched a shutout.
And it looks like Scott Pickler's going to take the ball. There's a pitcher that was starting to run in, but has since stopped and is now walking back towards the bullpen. Home plate umpire has come out to try and break up this infield meeting. Looks like Finley might be trying to convince Scott Pickler to leave him in the game. And at the end of the day, Scott Pickler is going to take the ball. So all for naught. But Leighton Finley still a fantastic outing out of the bullpen for the Georgia Bulldog. Nothing to hang his head about here in the ninth. YD looking to slam the door. A runner has moved on base. The tying run is on deck for Orleans with one out in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 4-1 Red Sox here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Back in a moment. Back in the bottom of the ninth inning here from Eldridge Park, Sawyer Hawks taking over on the mound for YD in a save opportunity here against Eddie King Jr. with a runner on first and one out. The first pitch is a breaking ball that finds the inside corner to strike one.
Beautiful vertical movement on that curveball.
Hawks working from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. This ball is hammered out to deep left field. Backing up at the wall, Stafford, or rather Apodaca, has the room and makes the catch for out number 2. And so, retreating to first, Oyama. The Firebirds are down to their final out. Henry Hunter, the final hope for Orleans. Runner on first, not being held on. Hawks set up on the bump. First pitch in on the hands for ball 1. The catcher is 0 for 3 today for the Firebirds. The 1-0 home. Swing and a miss. Fastball that time for strike 1. Hawks, who pitched 3 innings in his lone appearance for YD so far, gave up 1 run. The 1-1 pitch comes in on him for ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike. Hawks fires, runner goes, pitches down low, and YD will give him the base. So the runner moves up into scoring position, Oyama to second, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike to Hunter.
And that's Stafford behind the plate now, replacing Will King.
Disengagement by Hawks as he steps off and pumps over towards second. Now he's back set with 2 outs in the ninth. The 3-1. Check swing, and he went around. The appeal out to the base umpire? No, he did not go around. So, that's the second walk, and now the tying run is at the plate in Drew Farrow. Back-to-back, or 2 walks in the inning, I should say, put runners on first and second And rather, we're going to see a pinch hitter for the Firebirds, as it will be Jake Casey from Kent State. First pitch drops in there for strike one to the Golden Flash from Pittsburgh. Casey, lefty on righty. The tying run, first and second, 2 outs, 0-1. Breaking ball, that's in there for strike two. Hawks back to it following the walk. He's ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. From the stretch. A look at second, now the 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. And Casey takes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawks taking his time going back to the mound.
Casey fills the categories in both speed with 13 for 13 stolen bases for Kent State and power, as he had more than 20 extra base hits this season as well, including 12 home runs.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the ball game is over. YD steals one on the road on the back of some late insurance runs. The Red Sox win their 5th game out of their last 6 and take it on the road over Orleans by a 4-1 score. YD now improving to 5-2-1 on the season, and that leads the East Division of the Cape League following tonight. And for Orleans, the struggles continue. The Firebirds drop to 2-5-1 on the season, and the woes for the Firebirds have continued to roll along here as they lost a lead that they picked up in the early innings. Perri, this was a gritty type of win for this YD team. Offense was not clicking early on in this one, but their pitching did what they had to do to keep them in this game. Offense stole a couple of runs. They were able to get that late insurance, and they come away with a road win that really feels like gets them back on track from a little bit of a slip-up in that tie yesterday.
This was a gritty win indeed, and they tacked those runs on the board in large part, except for that 2-run RBI or 2 RBI double by Martinez. The other ones were from playing small ball and stealing bases from Coach Pickler. He made some good decisions, pinch hitting as well as he usually does, emptying that bench in the later innings. YD won what I would consider mostly a pitching battle today, and they continue their 6-game unbeaten streak, as they say in the sport of football, aka soccer.
So YD once again winning their 5th game of the season following that 0-2 start, 5-0-1. These Red Sox continue to find a way to win games, and as we look ahead to tomorrow, YD will be back at home, a 4:45 start as always from Red Wilson Field, as the Red Sox will take on the Chatham Anglers. Starting pitchers for that game have not yet been announced by either team. Keep an eye out for those on the social media channels of both squads. They will be announced likely tomorrow morning. YD and Chatham from Red Wilson at 4:45. So we will see you then. And until then, for Perri, Kitei, and our entire crew here from Eldridge Park, good night. YD wins it 4-1 is your final with the Red Sox victors. We'll see you tomorrow for the Red Sox and the Chatham Anglers. And thank you so much for tuning in.